The Owl House had it all. Beautiful animation, amazing plot lines, and charming characters. I binged through this show so quickly because it was so cute from start to finish. I fell in love with the entire Boiling Isles and all those that inhabited it. Yet, after the finale, I felt like I was missing something. Now, what could that something be besides more seasons? My name's Julie Q. I'm a variety streamer over on Twitch who has a lot of opinions about a lot of different subjects, and today I want to discuss the Owl House and why I needed more from it. I want to start this out by saying I know that there's a lot of speculation regarding the show's cancellation. However, this video will not be going over that into much depth, as we already have received some confirmation and information based on the show's creators discussing the topic on Reddit 2 years ago. Here's a screenshot of it. And unless we were in the meetings where they decided to can the show, we can't say for sure what the reason was, and realistically, it was probably a few different things. Albeit I do think one of those things was the LGBTQ plus representation based on even just Cartoon Network having threatened Steven Universe with cancellation due to its own inclusivity. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if that wasn't something that Disney considered with this show as well. That being said, let's jump right in and talk about the Owl House. Even though I joked about it in the beginning, something that really does frustrate me is that there aren't more seasons. This show had so much potential to go so much farther than it did, and a dedicated fan base who would absolutely agree with that. Heck, I would even take a spin-off if that was possible. Yes, I'm desperate for more, and yes, I'm happy to admit that, but even now, I'm still getting ahead of myself. To summarize this show, besides go watch it right now if you haven't, because it's so freaking good. This show starts with main character and big dreamer Luz Noceda being forced to go to a summer camp that she doesn't want to go to. Her school is telling her to grow up and be normal, but she's just your quirky girl who likes editing anime clips to music. Yes, that's a quote, and yes, that shot me in the cringy high school Julie. Because, same. But after throwing away her favorite fiction book, she sees an owl take it, so she chases that owl down to an abandoned building that actually ends up being a portal to the Boiling Isles, which is a place where magic and strangeness is normal. She meets Ida the owl lady who is selling human things, a lot of story and action ensues, and then at the end of the episode, Luz makes a deal with Ida so that she can learn magic. And that's just where the show begins, let alone where it takes us by the end. Because it really takes us somewhere by the end. But you know what sucks about this show? That it ended so abruptly. The setup we got in season 1 preparing us for season 2's more episodic style was the perfect way to get the audience to familiarize themselves with the characters and their personalities. I love that we got to see the growth of them from the start of the show until the end of the show, and it truly could be seen with not just the main characters, but also the side characters too. Luz grew into herself and her magic, Willow became confident and strong, Amity accepted herself and became kinder in the process, and so many more characters progressed in a similar fashion. Even the more minor characters changed as time went on to flourish as individuals. Which, fun fact, did you know that canonically Bartholomew and Steve are half-brothers? Dana Terrace confirmed the theory on her Twitter back in 2022. Just a fun little fact I came across while doing research for this video. Regardless, it frustrates me to no end that we didn't get to see more of the love that went into these characters with more episodes. I absolutely fell in love with their personalities and the growth of those personalities, and it makes me so sad that we couldn't get to see a slower progression, especially with the way that season 3 had wrapped up. Because even with the 3-hour-long episodes that we did get for season 3, it just wasn't enough to wrap up all the loose ends that season 2 delivered. At least, not in the best way it could have been. And of course, it did do it. It did wrap it up, and it did well for what restraints that they had to work with, but it just wasn't enough for fans who saw what we could have had, not when we compare it to season 1 and 2's more careful timings of things. The progression of season 1 was good. We were introduced to the characters, got to connect with them, then in season 2 the episodic story truly grabbed the audience with its addictive little claws as we watched the characters grow alongside a deeper, more mature storyline. Then all of a sudden, season 3 rushes just to wrap it all up. While the overarching plot points were wrapped up well, the time constraints made it so there were still a bunch of unanswered smaller situations going on, like who and where are the collector's siblings? Who is Evelyn Clawthorne? Like, I need an entire episode from the past explaining that, and I'll never get it. It's incredibly frustrating to see an amazing series with so many details just not be able to wrap up the finale in the time and with the time that it deserved. Overall, I really love this show, and if you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend doing so. The animation's gorgeous, the plot is amazing, the characters are unique. There's so many good things that I can say about the show and so many reasons to love it. The show made me experience so many emotions, and I hope maybe one day we can see maybe an official spin-off or a comic series. I know this won't be the last time I see the series because I've already watched it twice, and now it's turned into my comfort show, and I hope you see it in the same positive light that I do. If you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe as it really helps out with my channel. I'm so close to 1,000 subscribers, so any and all support is super appreciated. Let me know what you thought about the Owl House down in the comments. You can find me on all these social media platforms. So, until next time, bye-bye!